No, I did not. You can save those clips for like.
No, of course. I didn't use it. I thought it was hilarious.
How do you attract big clients? You know, if you feel like every day you work with customers and it's like little tiny itty bitty kind of things, like you don't feel like you're getting big, interesting, meaningful projects. It's like all these little onesie twosie types things. Or you don't feel like you're really building the business because there's not enough profit to be made. Or some of these clients, because they're so small, their expectations honestly are more than what the bigger clients want. Here's what I know, is that I would much rather a business have less numbers of customers, but a higher per customer revenue. Because it'll allow you to do incredible work with your team. I mean, there's nothing more frustrating for a teammate to always be in a rush and never actually have the time to create something special. And you want to make sure that your customers really are the lighthouse that shines examples of the type of work you do to attract other people. So doing it right is always win-win. You know, recently I got a call from an entrepreneur that had a software business. And I went to their website and I looked it over and checked out the pricing page and the onboarding experience. And I asked them, what's the challenge? They're like, well, we want bigger clients. We want people paying us more for our service. And I go, well, there's a lot of issues. If that's your outcome, cool. When I look at the website, there's a lot of challenges. And I gave them 3 specific changes that I want to share with you today. And it took them from $50 a month for their service to over $500 a month. And then an enterprise custom, click a button, let's talk kind of form. That's the opportunity. It's just you need to understand that there's a different way that you do certain things to attract that type of client. So number one for me is you need to solve their pain, right? Most entrepreneurs are not positioning their product and what they do to actually attract that bigger customer. Bigger clients want you to do more. They want to not think about it. They're focused on results and outcomes. They want to be guaranteed that if they hire your firm, they're going to get that result. You know, somebody said once, you never get fired for hiring IBM. The reason why is because IBM software was known, tested, true, and if you look at the competitors in the market, they were all typically running on that software. That's what those clients want from you, right? They want to know that if they make the investment, you're going to show up, you're going to deliver, you're going to make their life better, you're going to make them look good. People underestimate just the power of thinking about how can I make my client look good to their boss. If you've never thought that in your software, your service business, even a retail business, whatever business you're in, if you never thought, well, how do I make my customer look good to the people around them? That's a huge opportunity. So just solving their pain and their problem and presenting your solution in a way that would even be attractive or relevant to that size of company, that's step one. So that was the first thing we changed on their website and their homepage. Number 2 is you got to price yourself out of the market. You know, the reason why a lot of these, you know, especially agency entrepreneurs, they're doing these smaller projects is because they're available to buy. You know, I have one of my clients, he does, you know, $200,000 manufacturing type projects and he does $20 manufacturing type. And I'm just like, why do you do the small stuff? Why not say, look, when people call, we don't do the low-end stuff, we only do the high-end. A lot of entrepreneurs, especially they've been in the game for 10 plus years, they keep adding stuff to what they do. They're like, they say yes to a customer. You know, they might focus on this area, and then the customer's like, well, could you do this? And they're like, all right, we'll do that. And they keep adding bolt-ons, and they've never actually evaluate the product suite, the mix of stuff they offer, and say, you know what? We don't do this great. And I know customers pay us for it, and I know the margins might be there, but I don't want to do this anymore. And I think that just pricing yourself out of those smaller clients is the number one thing to actually get you serious and attracting the bigger clients. So just the price point of saying this entrepreneur, hey, you're at $50 a month, you got to go to $500. What's the difference from an experience point of view if I'm a company and I go to that website and I see that they have a $500 where they start versus they start at 50? If I think they start at 50, I'm like, well, this is a toy. This isn't serious. This is an enterprise. It's not for me. Just on their price. Are you doing that with your customers? Right? Are you turning them away? The ones that you want because of the way you're pricing your service or offering? The third area that I think you just totally need to nail is you got to communicate to a bigger customer. You need to change the way the messaging. I mean, the first thing I looked at this website, this page, and I was like, well, you say that you help small businesses create X, Y, and Z. They're like, yeah. And I go, and who do you want as customer? They're like, well, bigger Enterprises. All right. Give me examples of some of the names of those kind of companies that you'd love to work with. And he gave me their names, and I looked at them, and I go, do you think they consider themselves small businesses? No? All right. Why are you using that language on your website? Where else? Look at your page. Look at the copy. Think about it. That most people's website's the first contact or interaction with a company. They might hear about you somewhere else, but then they're going to go check out your website. And when they're on that page, they're going to say, is this for me? Are people like me, my kind of company, buying this service? So the logos, the language, the color scheme, all those things communicate a certain message. And if you want bigger customers, you got to communicate a bigger offering, right? The price matters, the problem and pain and the solution needs to be there, but at the end of the day, the communication needs to be on par. So 1, solve the bigger customer's pain, okay? 2, make sure that you price yourself out of the low end and into the higher end market. And then 3, communicate in a bigger way. What I want to hear from you below in the comments is, what strategy are you going to implement to go up 1 level? If you just decided today, you know what, I want to grow my business by 30%. So what's the next kind of customer, segment, type of business, consumer, whatever, that I want to go into to grow my business? What is your decision today below to make over the next 4 weeks? What is that action item that you're committing to right now after watching this video? Leave a comment below. And as per usual, I want to challenge you to live a bigger life and a bigger business. And I'll see you next Monday. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'd also encourage you to join my newsletter, where I share exclusive invites to events and other free training videos. And if you want to get more content right now, I've got 2 playlists queued up for you. I will see you next week.